The topic of my presentation is grip and breach technique in novice players with different playing experience. Stance, breach and handling the cue are technical elements of billiards and have to be acquired at an introductory level already. General conceptions how to hold a cue stick and what a proper stance should look like are described in various textbooks. The aim of the breach is to support and guide the front end of the cue. Correct grip and forming a steady breach to support the cue are considered the basis of accurate shots in cue sports. But even top players very often don't follow the rules. The aim of the present study was to compare cue grip and breach technique in highly skilled, less skilled and novice players. 12 stone and top ranked novice players with lower ranking scores, 28 and 22 beginners volunteered to participate in the study. And their data are presented in the table. The main age of highly skilled players was 51.9 years. The mean age of less skilled players was 42.3 years, and the mean age of novice players was 9.1 years. You can see their mean playing experience in years. In highly skilled players it was 32 years, in less skilled players 12 years, and the average playing experience of novice players was 1.1 years. The characteristics of their striking hand and position of wrist and elbow joint and upper arm during the shot and breach was analyzed by visual scores. In 45.4% of the cases, novice players used an insufficient grip. Their index finger or thumb was pointing up the cue. You can see it in figures 1B and 1C. Assessing the placement of the cue arm during the shot, results showed that all highly skilled players held their forearm perpendicular to the playing surface as it is recommended, though 16.6% and 8.33% of highly skilled players had the wrist during novice shots either deviated radially or flexed respectively. 36.4% of novice players and 17.9% of less skilled players turned their forearm either outwards, lifting their elbow and arm, or turned it inwards towards their body when committing their shot. Radially deviated wrist during novice shots was also noted in 17.86% of less skilled players. Open breach technique, it is depicted in figure 2, was used by 83.3% of highly skilled players, 85.7% of less skilled players, and 72.7% of novice players. The rest of the observed players applied closed breach, depicted in figure 4B. From players who used open breach, 40%, 18.5% and 12.5% of highly skilled players, less skilled players and novice players respectively committed their strike moving the cue on top of their breach hand on their index and middle finger. The rest of the open breach users slided their cue on the rail next to the index finger. In 77.3% of novice players, the breach was assessed as unstable. No unsteady breaches were noted among highly skilled players and less skilled players. We concluded that competitive novice players use different variations of gripping the cue and the breach, and no distinctive characteristics of grip and breach technique were noted in highly skilled players. And novice players showed unstable breach and on correct grip technique. Thank you very much.